Assessment of me and you?
No, about like us each individually. I don't know. About Jessica and her gameplay. He said something really weird. Like,
I believe it.
I caught her in a very serious lie or something, but I think it was just to protect you guys as a whole. But I knew that it was not true. And I go, if you're just going to be speaking in riddles, I don't really care. I was like, either just say what you're trying to say, or just, I don't care, you know. And he's
the
like,
only thing that I could think of that it would be, did he tell you yet? Or?
No, it's probably something about Nick or something.
No, it was either yesterday or the day before. I was sitting, maybe it might have even been today.
Well, I had the conversation with him yesterday, so.
Oh, it was yesterday,
Yeah,
so then it was before. Dick asked me if I was still down for getting you out, and Zach was standing right there in the kitchen, and I was like, yeah, just the lies and blah, 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 just trying to get whatever to get him away from me. That's the only thing I could think of. Unless it's something just weird.
Oh, who the hell knows? It could have been something from day 2 when he was like...
I honestly did lie at that point, but that was, you know.
Who cares? Fine with me.
That is a lie. Which I'm totally surprised he didn't call me out on.
He said some sort of weirdo. Well, he's not going to call you out on it because he's learned his lesson from
Dick.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to call you out on it. You're the one in charge.
But even before HOH, I was left out of everything.
You're right. I don't know. Because he probably still thinks that he's like cool with you. It just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's embarrassing himself.
Whatever. Leave me out of it. I don't care.
So Zach. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just not in the Dick Hates Me club.
So Zach.
Yet.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't either until a couple days ago, you know. Yeah, so something about that, and then he's just said something like, I think I'd like to get to know her more in a game sense. I could scratch her back and she could scratch mine. And I was like, yes. And he's like, he said but he was saying like, I don't know where she's, you know, if she could be, like, it was just, you know, typical Zachy type of, you know, I don't know. And then he claimed, you know, that he wouldn't repeat anything, and then immediately went and told Kale, he said to me, do you think it's going to be close? And I said, I certainly hope so. Yeah. And he knew that Amber and Jamaica had, you know, allegedly promised me the votes, although I spoke to both of them and said,
do whatever.
You don't need to, you know, uphold those in any way. And I was like, well, he brought that up, and I was like, well, yeah, the two are there. You know, is there a possibility for another? I would hope so. So yeah, yours could certainly have impact. And he was like, yeah, don't worry, man. This conversation is completely between us. And then walked over to Kale and said, Eric thinks he has the votes to stay. So then Kale tells this to Jen, and then Jen comes right over to me and is like, why would you tell Zach that you think you have the votes to stay?
What an idiot.
And I was like, okay, Zach. And that's the second time he's done that this week, because he did it to Dustin also. He said he outright doesn't trust Dustin at all, that he thinks Dustin's full of shit, and Dustin's playing all sides, which is not the only person I heard that from.
Really? Well, I mean, you saw he was buddy-buddy with Kale this week still.
And he was buddy-buddy with Dick and Danielle this week still.
Yeah, that's
Although
true.
it was
but that's done.
interspersed between little blow-ups and this and that, but it was like he was doing his hot and cold shtick as well, for sure. But he was definitely there with Kale, no doubt about it.
I mean, that's done. Kale's done, and Dick and Danielle's done. He has
totally
no choice
done.
but to be.
Well, all right. Hey, that's what I was saying all along, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like, if people are worried about these side deals and these side crappers, if we get rid of them, it doesn't matter. There's nothing those people, they're forced to align with us. There's no choice left. Or you're forced to do what Danielle does and shoot yourself in the foot and literally have no one and be out. So, good for her.
She's not done yet, I don't think.
Are you concerned about her, or are you thinking that you could still possibly utilize her in a beneficial way to yourself?
No, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a smart idea.
Honestly, if I had to pick which of the two between Dick and Danielle would be evicted, it would be Danielle, because I think she's a better game player than him. And everybody already hates Dick. But I know that won't work. Everybody is furious with Dick, whatever, get him out.
I think for personal comfort and sanity, it would be better to see him go. And I think that you should state that, and I would support that, and it should just, you know, be a known mission that that she's gonna follow right out the door. It's not.
I hope so, because if not, she's really good,
Yeah.
and
Well, they
she
were the
will.
ones fucking it up, Dick and Danielle. We weren't the ones who were letting Kale and Jen out every single week. They were, So I mean, if we want them out, I don't see any reason why we won't.
That's true. Oh no, I know one of them will go. If I had, yeah, okay, I know one of them will go. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so then Zach got all worked up about Jamaica and Amber, which I don't really get where people are coming from.
I don't understand why he hates them so much.
And why would you come to me and say that? What are you gaining from that? What do you think? You think I'm going to say, "Oh, you're right, Jamaica and Amber stink, Zach"?
Just so he's probably trying to make you think that he's not after you, which he probably is.